the dark secret behind AI surveillance they don't want you to know. Are you really alone when you think you are? AI surveillance is watching, learning, predicting, and controlling far more than you realize. Stay tuned as we pull back the curtain on the dark secret they don't want you to know. Remember to subscribe, like, and comment below. And don't forget to share your thoughts as we uncover these hidden truths together. Imagine walking through your neighborhood park, grabbing a coffee at your favorite cafe, or scrolling through your phone in the comfort of your own home, unaware that every single move you make, every decision, every glance is being silently watched, recorded, and analyzed. This is not a scene from a dystopian movie. This is reality. This is AI surveillance. In the 21st century, technology has become our constant companion. Cameras peer from every corner. Our devices listen, watch, and learn. We've traded privacy for convenience, often without even realizing it. At first glance, AI surveillance seems like a marvel. We feel safer knowing that criminals can be caught faster. We appreciate smart traffic lights that ease our commutes. We enjoy personalized experiences online, tailored perfectly to our habits. But behind the polished promises of safety and efficiency, a darker reality lurks. What happens when surveillance stops being about protection and starts being about control? Artificial intelligence, once the stuff of science fiction, is now a powerful tool used to monitor our behaviors, predict our actions, and sometimes even manipulate our decisions. Governments, corporations, and private entities wield AI surveillance with increasing sophistication, creating detailed profiles of individuals without their knowledge or their consent. Today, facial recognition software doesn't just recognize you. It can read your emotions, guess your intentions, and predict your next move. AI doesn't just know where you are. It can infer where you're going, who you'll meet, and what you're likely to do when you get there. The reach of AI surveillance extends far beyond security cameras and GPS trackers. It lives inside our smartphones, our smartwatches, our televisions, our homes, our workplaces, even in public spaces where we least expect it. And while AI surveillance can be used to protect us, it can just as easily be used against us, limiting our freedoms, shaping our behavior, and even stifling dissent. The more we allow surveillance technologies to grow unchecked, the more we risk becoming prisoners of a digital world we helped create. A world where privacy is obsolete, autonomy is undermined, and freedom is an illusion. In this video, we'll take you deep into the heart of AI surveillance, how it works, who controls it, and what its growing power means for you, for me, and for society at large. We'll uncover not just the hidden technologies behind the surveillance state, but the secret agendas, the biases, and the silent trade-offs no one told you were making. Because knowledge is power, and in an age of invisible watchers, understanding how you're being watched is your first line of defense. Stay with me as we peel back the shiny facade and reveal the shocking truth they don't want you to know. Presentation of the problem/challenge. When we think of surveillance, many of us imagine a camera on a pole or a security guard monitoring screens in a dim room. But AI surveillance goes much deeper, and that's exactly where the problem begins. Unlike traditional surveillance, AI surveillance doesn't just record your actions. It interprets them. It analyzes them. It predicts what you might do next. And it does all this without your awareness or your consent. At the heart of the challenge is invisibility. AI surveillance operates behind the scenes. It's in the algorithms that track your online behavior. It's in the facial recognition software that scans crowds at public events. It's in the predictive policing systems that decide which neighborhoods will be patrolled more heavily, and which individuals will be flagged as suspicious before they've even committed a crime. You can't fight what you can't see. You can't opt out of a system you don't know you're a part of. That's the first and perhaps most chilling problem with AI surveillance. It robs you of the ability to make an informed choice. Now, let's talk about privacy. Privacy isn't just a luxury. It's a fundamental human right. It's what allows us to think freely, to express ourselves, to dissent, to explore, to be human without fear of judgment or punishment. When AI systems collect data about us, our movements, our preferences, our communications, without clear boundaries or safeguards, they don't just violate our privacy. They change our behavior. Studies show that people who know they're being watched act differently. They're more cautious, less willing to speak their minds, less willing to challenge authority. In a world of constant AI surveillance, true freedom of thought and expression becomes impossible. We begin to self-censor, even when we have nothing to hide. And once that line is crossed, society shifts in dangerous ways. But that's not all. There's another major problem: bias. AI surveillance is often presented as neutral, objective, and scientific. But in reality, AI systems are built by humans, and humans have biases. These biases seep into the data AI is trained on. They influence the patterns AI learns to recognize, and they can lead to devastating consequences, especially when AI is used in sensitive areas like law enforcement, hiring, and public services. Facial recognition software, for instance, has been shown to misidentify people of color at much higher rates than white individuals. In one study, Black women were misidentified by facial recognition algorithms up to 35% more often. Imagine being wrongly flagged as a criminal because an AI system couldn't distinguish your face from someone else's. Imagine being denied a job, an apartment, or even entry into a public event because an algorithm decided you were high risk. This isn't science fiction. It's happening right now. Next, accountability, or the lack of it. When a human police officer makes a mistake, there's someone to hold responsible. But when an AI system makes a mistake, who is to blame? The engineer who designed it? The company that sold it? The government agency that bought it? Too often, the answer is no one. AI systems hide responsibility behind layers of code and corporate contracts. When a person is wrongly surveilled, wrongly accused, or wrongly punished because of AI, getting justice can be nearly impossible. Without clear regulations and accountability frameworks, AI surveillance becomes a shadow system, operating without transparency, oversight, or consequences. And finally, consider the concentration of power. Those who control AI surveillance technologies wield immense influence. Governments can use it to crush dissent and control populations. Corporations can use it to manipulate consumers and boost profits. We, the public, are left vulnerable. Pawns in a game we don't even know we're playing. Surveillance capitalism, where your personal data is the product, has already turned companies like Facebook, Google, and Amazon into some of the most powerful entities in human history. And as AI surveillance becomes even more sophisticated, the gap between those who control the technology and those who are subject to it will only widen. This isn't just about technology. It's about power, control, freedom, and unless we confront these problems head-on, we risk sleepwalking into a future where autonomy and democracy are nothing more than illusions. So, what do we do about it? How do we navigate a world where the watchers are invisible and the walls are made of data? That's what we'll uncover next, as we dive deeper into how AI surveillance operates in our daily lives and what it truly means for the future of humanity. Stay with me. Exploration/development. When you wake up and check your phone, it already knows you're awake. Your movement, the way you unlock your screen, the apps you open first, they're all recorded, analyzed, and interpreted. Before you've had your morning coffee, hundreds of data points about you have already been fed into powerful AI systems. You don't see it. You don't consent to it daily. It's just happening. And the implications are far more unsettling than most people realize. Let's start with facial recognition, the invisible watcher in the crowd. At airports, stadiums, city streets, you're constantly scanned. Not by humans, but by machines. Your face is mapped. The distance between your eyes, the curve of your lips, the angles of your cheekbones, all converted into digital code. But here's what they don't tell you. You don't need to commit a crime to be flagged. You just need to look like someone else who did. In 2019, a man in Detroit was arrested in front of his family for a crime he didn't commit, all because a facial recognition system made a mistake. He spent hours in jail, traumatized, because an algorithm thought his face looked similar to grainy CCTV footage. Imagine that happening to you. No warning, no recourse, just the cold judgment of a machine deciding your fate. And the companies selling these systems? They often know about the flaws, but market them to police departments anyway, because in a world where fear sells faster than facts, profits come before principles. Next, predictive policing, Minority Report, but real. In some cities, AI is used to predict where crimes are likely to occur and who might commit them. But here's the terrifying catch. The data used to train these systems comes from a long history of biased policing practices. If certain neighborhoods were historically over-policed, often poor, often communities of color, the AI learns that more crimes happen here. So it sends more police, more stops, more searches, more arrests, not because the people are more criminal, but because the system is reinforcing its own bias. It's a feedback loop, a digital form of discrimination that looks scientific because it comes wrapped in the language of AI. But behind the curtain, it's just the same old prejudice, automated, accelerated, and hidden behind layers of code no one can question. Now, consider social media surveillance, the tracking we volunteer for. Every post you like, every comment you leave, every ad you click. AI systems build a psychological profile of you, your interests, your fears, your political leanings, even your sexual orientation, often with chilling accuracy. This data is then weaponized, sold to advertisers, political campaigns, even governments. Remember Cambridge Analytica? That was just the tip of the iceberg. They used Facebook data to target voters with personalized political propaganda. Messages designed not just to persuade, but to manipulate. And thanks to AI, these techniques are now more powerful than ever. You're not just being observed. You're being nudged, pushed, steered, all without realizing it. Your reality is being subtly edited by invisible algorithms that decide what you see, what you hear, and what you believe. Freedom of thought? In the age of AI surveillance, even your mind becomes a battleground. And what about your voice? Your fingerprints? Your very DNA? AI is now being trained to recognize you by the way you walk, the way you type, the sound of your heartbeat. New surveillance technologies are emerging that don't even need cameras. They can detect you through walls using radar and Wi-Fi signals. You can't hide from that. You can't even know when it's happening. This isn't paranoia. This is already being tested by governments and corporations around the world. And once these technologies become widespread, privacy, as we know it, will be gone forever. The consequences are profound. Journalists who can't protect their sources. Activists who can't organize without being tracked. Ordinary people who can't explore new ideas without fear. When surveillance is everywhere, trust disappears. When surveillance is invisible, resistance becomes dangerous. When AI decides guilt or innocence, justice itself collapses. We are approaching a world where your life is shaped not by human laws or human values, but by the cold, unfeeling logic of machines. Machines designed by corporations, deployed by governments, and answerable to no one. A world where powerful elites know everything about you, and you know almost nothing about them. It's not science fiction. It's our future. Unless we act now. But it's not too late. There are ways to fight back, to reclaim our rights, to demand transparency, accountability, and ethical boundaries. The next chapter will show you what's being done, what still needs to happen, and what you can do today to stand against this silent, creeping invasion. Because the first step in fighting the darkness is seeing it clearly. Imagine waking up one morning and discovering your entire digital existence has been weaponized against you. Not by hackers, not by foreign spies, but by your own government, your own apps, your own devices. That's not a distant dystopia. That's what already happened to countless people without their knowledge. The catalyst moment, the Pegasus Project. In 2021, journalists across the globe uncovered a chilling truth. A powerful spyware tool called Pegasus was being used, not just against terrorists or criminals, but against lawyers, activists, politicians, and even ordinary citizens. Pegasus could infect your phone invisibly. No need for you to click anything. No need for you to make a mistake. Once inside, it could read every text message, listen to every phone call, access every photo, contact, and email, even activate your camera and microphone. Without you knowing, your phone, your trusted companion, turned into a 24/7 surveillance device. And you wouldn't feel a thing. No buzzing, no notifications, just silence, as every intimate part of your life was broadcast to unseen watchers. Governments across the world, democracies included, were caught red-handed using Pegasus to crush dissent and silence critics. If you dared to question authority, if you fought for human rights, if you simply stood in the wrong place at the wrong time, you became a target, invisible, vulnerable, alone. But Pegasus was just the beginning. The greater danger lies in what comes next: autonomous AI surveillance. Autonomous AI surveillance. Machines making the decisions. Traditional surveillance needed human operators. Someone had to watch the camera feeds. Someone had to approve the wiretap. But now, AI watches everything, all the time, and makes the calls. It can decide who looks suspicious, whose social media posts sound dangerous, whose movements suggest criminal intent, without a warrant, without oversight, without human judgment. And when AI gets it wrong, who will you appeal to? An error code? An algorithm that no one understands? Think about it. You could be denied a job, banned from traveling, marked as a potential threat, all based on secret AI scores you'll never see. In China today, entire cities are governed by AI-driven surveillance, where cameras with facial recognition track millions of people at once, grading their behavior in real time. Good behavior earns rewards. Bad behavior brings punishment. Miss a loan payment? Post the wrong opinion? Suddenly, your access to schools, jobs, and even transportation can disappear. And it's not just over there. Elements of these systems are being tested in America, Britain, Australia. Right now, the infrastructure is already being built, quietly, brick by digital brick, law by silent law. But here's the true horror. You will never know it's happening to you. No flashing lights. No men in black suits knocking on your door. Instead, you apply for a loan and get mysteriously rejected. You book a flight and find yourself on a random no-fly list. You post a political meme and your account gets shadow banned without explanation. You won't know why. You won't know how. And no one will tell you. That's the ultimate power of AI surveillance. It operates in the dark and punishes you in the light. And as it grows stronger, resisting it becomes harder. Speaking out becomes riskier. Escaping it becomes almost impossible. It's control without confrontation, oppression without open violence, a prison without walls. Real people are already paying the price. A journalist in Hungary had his phone infected with Pegasus. After investigating corruption, a human rights lawyer in Mexico was tracked for defending indigenous communities. Activists in Bahrain, Rwanda, Saudi Arabia watched, hunted, silenced. These aren't isolated incidents. They're warning signs. And if we ignore them, if we look away, if we tell ourselves it won't happen here, we are walking blindfolded into a future where freedom is an illusion. A future where the watchers are unaccountable, where the watched are powerless, and where trust, hope, and democracy itself are corroded from within. But history shows, no system of control is ever perfect. No surveillance state is ever invincible. Because technology may evolve, but so does resistance, so does awareness, so does courage. The question is not whether the watchers will grow more powerful. They will. The question is, will we stand up before it's too late? Before your choices are not your own? Before your thoughts are not your own? Before your life becomes a script written by machines you cannot see and cannot challenge? The time to choose is now. The fight for your future is already here. And the next steps we take will define the destiny of an entire generation. Conclusion/summary. In a world where machines see everything, where every click, every step, every whisper can be recorded, privacy is no longer just a right. It's a rebellion. The truth is simple. The more we accept invisible surveillance, the more we surrender pieces of ourselves, until there's nothing left but data points on a government screen. But awareness is power, knowledge is resistance, and hope is not yet lost. We are still human. We still have a voice. We still have the ability to demand transparency, accountability, and dignity. This is not the end of the story, unless we allow it to be. The tools that threaten to enslave us can also be used to liberate us. If we choose to fight smart, stay awake, and refuse to be silent. Because the real future of freedom won't be written by algorithms. It will be written by us, by you, right here, right now. Before you go, don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button, and leave a comment below. How do you feel about AI surveillance? Are we heading toward a safer world or a darker future? Your voice matters. Your awareness matters. Let's keep the conversation alive. And if you want to dive even deeper into the hidden dangers of our digital world, watch our next video, The Dark Side of Smart Homes, How Your Devices Spy on You. Stay informed, stay free, stay human,